Now, I know what you're thinking. Kingler and Ubers, Zed, are you completely off your rocker? And to you, ladies and gentlemen, I say yes, perhaps I am completely off my rocker. But I wanted to use Kingler and Ubers. I have no other reason for doing it other than it was sitting in my boxes. I saw that it was an agility set, I saw that it had Crab Hammer, and I saw that it had X Scissor. Now, if there's anything you should know about Ubers, Bug is a generally decent type to have around because psychics patrol the field like generals, and water is pretty damn good when you have Kyogre on your team. So that's what I thought I would do. I thought I'd bring a Kingler and see how it did in this match. So I'm going to lead off though with Darkrai, which is Scarf Darkrai, and I'm carrying Sub and Trick, and I think Dark Pulse, Dark Void, Dark Pulse, Sub Trick. So it's not really great coverage or anything, but I like to put something to sleep straight away, then switch out, and then come back later and perhaps Trick Scarf to something else, and then set up a Sub as it gets locked in, and you know how it goes. But initial thing that's going on is that I want to put something to sleep, protect with his Ferrothorn as he leads off with it, and then goes into Lugia, deciding that would be the best sleep fodder, get a little bad dreams, damage in, and switch straight out to Kyogre. Now, Kyogre threatens huge proportion of his team, even Ferrothorn. The thing is with Specs Kyogre, which is the setup that I'm running, is that if he switches Ferrothorn in on a Water Spout, it's going to do about 85-90%. It's Ferrothorn and it can take hits, but not when Specs Kyogre is in the house. So being in the house, such as it is, I switch into it on the Lugia. Unfortunately, he also switches to Palkia, which does not bode well for me whatsoever. Predicting the Thunder, I'm going to go into Dialga, and the Electric does strike me down the body to such an effect that it leaves me paralyzed after taking such a hit. Kind of sucks. Dialga doesn't necessarily care about being paralyzed because I am running the support set. I think I'm actually running the Metal Burst one with Roar as opposed to the Stealth Rock T-Wave one, but does carry Flamethrower and Dragon Pulse together, and I predict his Ferrothorn to come in, go for the Flamethrower. A pretty obvious switch there. Dragon Pulse was slightly obvious, and Ferrothorn generally works out on Dialga, especially the fact that I have Flamethrower on a Rain team. I guess he wouldn't see it coming as much, so works pretty well, allows me to do a huge chunk of damage to him, allows me to also 2-hit KO him with another one. So that's what I should have really done. Because, you know, he's just going to set up rocks and hope to die. But instead, I predict his switch either back to Palkia or to something else to resist the Flamethrower. Unfortunately, stays in and sets up the Stealth Rock, and kind of means that I take an extra turn of entry hazards, I believe. Unless he sets up Leech Seed. I think he might set up Leech Seed here, which isn't actually all that crucial, because I'm going to kill him with a Flamethrower on this turn, and then I can potentially switch out on the Pokemon that he brings in next. So it's not like Leech Seed actually affects me in any way because I'm not taking any damage from it at the end of this turn, which is nice. It's good. Means that it's essentially negated, brings me all the way back up to full health, and I'm not being sapped. No sapping is occurring. So goes into his Arceus Ghost. And I don't really know what kind of Arceus Ghost it is, but I want to find out. And so I'm actually not going to switch on this turn, even though getting rid of Leech Seed would be preferable. I'm going to go for the Dragon Pulse just to see what he's going to do, whether he's going to go for a Judgment to predict my switch, or go for a fighting move, whether I could find out if he had one or not. And it turns out he's going to Calm Mind. So he's especially based, Calm Mind Arceus Ghost. I know some Arceus Ghosts run Extreme Speed and are physically based to take on your usual Arceus, your standard Extreme Killers. But this one seems to be specially based completely and utterly. And so knowing that he's going to want to set up even more, seeing that I did Dragon Pulse and did hardly anything, I'm going to stay in, predict a second Calm Mind, which he would feel very safe doing, having seen Dragon Pulse do practically nothing. And I get the Roar off, phase him out, and I'm able to push him into Lugia here, which actually works out pretty nicely in my favor. So here I'm going to decide to switch out into Darkrai, thinking that if he does want to stay in, there's the potential that I could come in and Trick Scarf him, and kind of giving Lugia a Scarf makes it pretty useless, especially if he's running a defensive set, and I just assume that he is, because that's what most Lugias are. Unfortunately for me, we get Darkrai versus Darkrai, and I don't have Focus Blast, even though I am Scarfed, so the problem here is that I can't just go straight up and kill him, because I'm Dark Pulse and Trick, as I already explained to you guys before. So I go into my Dialga to dodge the Dark Void, as it is obviously gonna come and take me to sleep, as it were. So because I'm paralyzed, I guess that works out in my favor. The fact that Palkia paralyzed me with a the Thunder allows me to dodge the sleeping hit, and I can now just wear this thing down with Dragon Pulses. I'm not quite sure what he has to hit me. I was guessing Focus Blast because that's what a lot of Darkrai's carry, but he goes for the Hidden Power, which turns out to be neutral, and he is running a Life Orb set, so at least I know for later if this Darkrai survives and mine is alive that I am always going to outspeed him because mine is scarfed. So it kind of works out here because I Dragon Pulse him, and I just need to take another Hidden Power and then Dragon Pulse him again, and he should be finished off. I should have Dialga pretty much in decent nick with 134 HP, but unfortunately for me, I'm going to get paralyzed on this turn. I know I can live another Hidden Power, but it's not really going to be a huge deal because I think he's going to kill himself off from Life Orb pretty soon anyway, so it's just how it goes. He's going to Dark Pulse me, take me all the way down, and I'm thinking Dragon Pulse should take him out from this range, but unfortunately, once again, Hax is going to strike me right in the kicker, and right in the kick. I'm not sure that's the right phrase. Whatever. I said it. Such is the way it's been done. I get flinched. And now he's going to be able to take me out with another one. Doesn't matter though because he is of course Life Orbed, as we have ascertained thus far. And he's going to kill himself off from the recoil damage. So not too bad. I lose Dialga in the process. Would have liked to keep it around for death fodder. Had I been able to get off the Dragon Pulse, it would have been nice to do such a thing. But unfortunately, not the case. Palkia is able to come in. And I go into my fastest thing, which is my Scarf Darkrai. Doesn't really work out too well against this thing. What I forget is that I have now killed the thing which I put to... No, I haven't. No, his Lugia... Wait, is his Lugia awake? Man, I can't even remember. Maybe his Lugia is still asleep. Maybe I couldn't have put him to sleep. Maybe I'm thinking of a different match. I don't know. I can't remember at this point whether Lugia is awake or asleep, but I assume that it must be asleep because I continuously go for Dark Pulse here as opposed to Dark Voiding, which would have made more sense had Lugia not been asleep. Oh well, I guess we'll find out soon enough, or you probably have remembered because you're watching this battle and are paying attention more than I am, even though I should be paying the most attention because I'm the one narrating over the top of it. No matter, I live a Spatial Rend, get off 2 Dark Pulses, allows me to go into Arceus, live another Spatial Rend, go for a Swords Dance in its face, and I'm thinking I should be relatively set to go at this point. This is what Arceus does. You bring him in, you get up a free Swords Dance on something that can't really do a huge amount of damage, and you extreme speed kill the rest of the team. Now, the one barrier, the one obstacle in my way is, of course, the Arceus Ghost, because I need to use Shadow Claw to kill that, and I'm not sure what the speed tie is going to be like, if there is going to be a speed tie, whether I'll just be flat out faster or whatever. I'm hoping I'll win a speed tie, and unfortunately I don't win a speed tie, but fortunately, for every unfortunate thing that comes into play, ladies and gentlemen, there is one silver lining, and that is the fact that Focus Blast misses. I wouldn't exactly call it hacks, because hell, it's Focus Blast, and when did Focus Blast ever hit in the history of life? So, does a superb job of hitting the Focus Miss, as I take him out clean with a Shadow Claw, goes into the Kyogre, which is going to be one-shotted from the extreme speed, and I think his Lugia is still asleep, because it is his last thing. So yes, I shouldn't have been able to Dark Void there on the Palkia anyway. I was just, I don't know, lapse of judgment. Maybe it's a different match, because there was a different match. I was thinking of an Ubers match where I killed something that was already asleep. Not this one, however, but brings in Lugia. Probably should have brought this in before Kyogre, honestly, because it can actually tank hits. As you can see, +2 Shadow Claw does practically nothing, which is why I probably should have gone for an extra extreme speed and taken Lugia down via that method. But I'm thinking, okay, I'm actually not worried. And the reason I'm not worried, ladies and gentlemen, is because I have a motherfucking boss in the back of my pocket. You know what I'm talking about. You know the man that I mentioned at the start of this video. You know the guy, the claw machine. His name is, of course, Kingler. And today, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to witness the rise and even higher rise of Kingler, because he's going to come in here face down with an uber threat such as Lugia, but with the grace, the good grace of the water behind his great and godly claws. He shall grasp at the air, take some boosted from the water, and use a Crab Hammer and miss, because he's an idiot. First of all, you know, Crab Hammer, I think, has pretty... I actually don't remember its accuracy, maybe it's like 80 or something, but he attempts to roost, as he thinks he can take Crab Hammer better after roosting. Just take a look at how much damage this does, ladies and gentlemen. This is a pretty defensive Pokemon, Lugia, if you didn't believe it, because Extreme Speed did do a significant amount of damage, but it didn't kill it. Look how much that crab hammer does! Life Orb Kingler in the rain with Stab Crab Hammer. Stab Crab, I like that, how that works. Clearly, he's unable to kill me. He can't do anything. The only thing he can do is toxic me, as of course, ladies and gentlemen, Kingler! Kingler kills Lugia with the great and mighty Crab Hammer, slices him down, finishes off his foe, and clutch for the win. Clutch indeed. So that was the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was certainly a fun one. You know, I guess a little bit of an Arceus sweep, which is to be expected. It is Ubers and happens sometimes, and such is the case on this occasion. But at least I got to use Kingler, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to try it out, and it actually did something. Something significant. So, great. I'm well pleased. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, please, I implore you with the please, to hit the like button. That would be very favourable. It helps me out. It's also a good indication to let me know that you enjoyed the video, if indeed you did. Otherwise, you can subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you subscribe to someone, your videos pop up on your front page, the videos you subscribe to anyway, so you can try and do that if you want to. If you're new to this entire YouTube shenanigan thing, majigamy what's it, yeah, that's it. See you guys next time, and yeah, goodbye.